We don't read and write poetry because it's cute.
It strikes me that Robin Williams is the best teacher or coach you ever had.
We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race.
He just had a much larger classroom.
Pretty much the whole planet.
And the human race is filled with passion.
The films of Robin Williams speaks to what life is really about. Joy, connection, growth. They shaped a generation.
Poetry, beauty, romance, love. These are what we stay alive for. To live will be an awfully big adventure.
Robin Williams was a wonderful person, and he's gone too soon.
The powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be? See it.
We're doing a live episode, July 30th through August 1st in the Pacific Northwest, and August 6th through 8th in the Upper Midwest. There will be a Q&A, there will be merch, there will be VIP tickets where you get to meet and greet us. Tickets on sale. Come see us because we want to see you. You specifically, Jeff.
Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Alan Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs therapy. That guy is
Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist, loves movies. What movies are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about a bunch of different movies.
Yeah.
All of them starring one Robin Williams.
Ooh.
Who is an actor who I think was generationally defining.
Yeah.
Particularly for our generation, but for people older than us, people younger than us. This is a man who, through his characters, gave us so much warmth and comfort and taught us so many life lessons.
Transcends generations. My kids love Robin Williams movies.
Yeah.
So films like Hook and Aladdin and Mrs. Doubtfire and Dead Poet Society, I feel like I learned more about just how to be a loving person just by watching the films.
Yeah.
It taught a lot of us so much just about what that looks like. And he was a phenomenal actor. But acting is also bringing yourself.
Right.
And by all accounts, an exceptionally genuine, caring, loving person who did not rank or stratify people. You know, it wasn't like he was kind to people he could get something from.
He was great to the grips and the camera assistants on set.
I feel like the best lessons we can learn from Robin Williams are how to show up in life with warmth and good humor.
We're gonna look at some different life lessons from different movies, and I'm gonna cry, and you're gonna tell me what I've learned.
And I'd like to propose that we go a little more personal with this episode. I know for both of us, Robin
Deeply
Williams,
personal.
Yeah, and I think that's true for a lot of you watching. And so let's talk about our experiences with these films as well.
Great.
Showtime.
So, what is it like? Will has an attachment.
This one's less family friendly, but
That's right. I bleeped it.
Fear of abandonment. Is that why?
my favorite
That why I
film
look like
therapist.
Skylar?
I didn't know you had.
Every therapist's favorite film
Every
therapist.
therapist's favorite film therapist. I think this character is the reason half of therapists are therapists.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot. You see this? All this.
You're not defined by your file.
This is not your fault. Look at me, son. It's not your fault.
The earnestness in Robin Williams' eyes of, I need you to actually internalize this. And why do I need that? Just because I care.
It's not your fault.
I like how the camera pushes in when he takes a step in.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Don't with me. It's not your fault.
Don't with me, all right? Don't with me, Sean. Not you.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
One of the greatest things about this scene, just from an acting standpoint is Robin Williams is providing a foundation for Matt Damon to build this giant. This is a big performance for Matt Damon, right?
Yeah. Well, and especially in this moment, and it's earned because he doesn't
Yeah.
go this big the whole movie.
Right, exactly.
He's been holding this in.
It took him an hour and 30 minutes to get to this point, right?
Yeah.
But that scene collapses under the weight of Matt Damon's performance if Robin Williams isn't there giving just enough,
Yeah.
right? Because Robin Williams' performance is subtle, but very effective. You feel the emotion that he's feeling. He's
Yeah.
like, look, this is important to me. It's important to me that you know this. It's not as important to me as it's going to be to you, and I know that.
Yeah.
So he plays it perfectly. It is pitch perfect.
And as a therapist, he's trying to push through all the protective layers that are keeping Will Hunting from internalizing self-compassion, self-love, self-forgiveness. And as a therapist, the reason why Robin Williams is every therapist's favorite film therapist in this film is because I'm reading a book right now called Spark, and it's about Cirque du Soleil.
Okay. Cool. That's why he's. I'm sure we're getting there.
But the big takeaway from the book is to not forget why you do what you do. I watch this scene and I think, as a therapist, why did I become a therapist? Forget clinical skill, academic achievement, experience in the field. It's human connection. It's helping another human being heal because you care about them.
Yeah.
And I watch this scene, and it's always a reminder for me to make sure I'm showing up as Robin Williams-like as I can. Not like I have to be me, but just in the sense of the genuine warmth. You can see his almost desperation of, I see the pain that you're in, and I need you to get this because I don't want you to suffer more. Yeah. And for you as a filmmaker, for you watching this, the things that you do, why did you choose to do them in the first place to not lose that spark? That is just so powerful. I love this.
You know, to your point, what he's getting at is Will needs to accept who he is,
Yeah.
right? And Robin Williams, he helps him with that self-acceptance, pushing through the
self-loathing.
the self-loathing.
Yeah.
These are things that happened to you, but they do not define you, and they are not caused by you.
Yeah.
And that is something that we all need to accept. Like, I say this on the show all the time. My therapist told me this. Your mental health issues are not your fault, but they are your responsibility.
Yeah.
And Will Hunting has had those reversed.
He pushes people away before they have a chance to leave him. It's a defense mechanism, all right? And for 20 years, he's been alone because of that.
He's been putting all of the fault on himself and taking no responsibility for it.
And weirdly, because Will is such a smart character, he has accepted rationally, logically,
Sure.
it wasn't my fault.
He read the file. He knows the file backwards.
Yeah. He does know that on a logical level, but there's a difference between what you accept logically and what you accept emotionally.
Yeah.
And emotionally, there's still that child inside that blames himself for the abuse.
And emotion is what drives how we function.
Yeah.
I wish we were all rational beings. But if we were, I wouldn't eat nearly as much ice cream as I do.
Gosh dang it.
I love chocolate, but I can't eat it because then I'll get fat. But it's so good.
But this is how he cuts through to get to that emotional core and to reset that belief.
Man, life can be a lot sometimes, but you don't have to handle it all on your own.
Like so many of these characters who had Robin Williams there to support them, with today's sponsor BetterHelp, there's always someone there with you.
Ready to listen to and support you with whatever you're going through.
Something a lot of you may not know is that I am a therapist, but I also have gone to therapy numerous times in my life when I've had crossroads and I felt stuck with what were my next steps and who am I going to be. Therapy helped me to embrace not only my worth, but that it's okay to take up space, it's okay to have wants, and to say, this is what I'm going to pursue because it makes me happy and it fulfills me. Therapy helped me to give myself permission and to have the strength to pursue the courses I wanted to pursue.
It's so great to know that you don't have to go through everything alone. BetterHelp is with you.
BetterHelp makes therapy accessible wherever you are, whether online or through the app.
Take the quiz now and get matched with a licensed therapist really quick.
And if the one you're matched with isn't the right fit, you can switch at any time with no extra cost.
82% of clients recommend their therapist.
Plus, and this is huge, BetterHelp providers now accept insurance.
Yes.
Average copays are around $23 per session.
So shake it, dong dong.
I see why you like him.
Take a short quiz and check your eligibility at betterhelp.com/cinematherapy.
No insurance? For a limited time, you could still get 20% off your first month.
So click the link below or go to betterhelp.com/cinematherapy.
Jeannie, I need help.
All right, Sparky, here's the deal. If you want to court the little lady, you gotta be a straight shooter. Do you got it?
What?
Tell her the
If Jasmine found out I was really some crummy street rat, she'd laugh at me.
A woman appreciates a man who can make her laugh.
Al, all joking aside, you really ought to be yourself.
Hey, that's the last thing I want to be. Okay, I'm gonna go see her. I gotta be smooth, cool, confident.
Yeah, this is a movie I've got memorized.
How do I look?
Yeah.
Like a prince.
So first of all, I was watching a making of documentary about Aladdin. So Robin Williams had issues with Disney corporate, as a lot of us do.
Sure. Yep.
But he loved Disney creative. He loved working with them. And one of his favorite things about this was realizing how the animators were augmenting what he was doing and keeping pace with him.
The guys who draw, which I've made fun of, but it's actually, they're really like, they act with a pencil. What they do is I kind of give an inspiration and then they go with it. There's stuff in the cartoon where they just play with images and they go as fast as I do, which is nice when you can travel at the speed of life.
But this advice to be yourself, Genie, we don't know his backstory, but Genie knows that for love to be love, it has to be based on truth.
Yeah.
That people have to see who you actually are in order to love you. That if Aladdin's trying to get Jasmine to fall in love with a mask, a facade, there's no way it lasts because it's not sustainable, because it's not real.
Right.
And friends, we've got episodes on most of these movies.
Almost all of them.
And if that's a surprise to you, that means you're missing episodes. So subscribe, click the bell, and turn the notifications to all so you are always notified of our new episodes.
If you like Robin Williams, like this video, and somehow that will mean something.
What, are you crying? You don't cry, all right? You keep your chin up. Come on, keep your chin up. Crying never helped anybody do anything, okay? You have a problem? You face it like a man.
The shift. Masterful.
Hey, I'm sorry. 26 years buried in the deepest, darkest jungle, and I still became my father. It's okay, come here, I'm sorry. Hey, it's all right. Remember what you told me? It's all right to be afraid.
It's not, Dad.
What is it?
A good scene as an entire short film in itself, and
Yeah.
he just took us through an entire emotional journey. And then we get to
cap it off.
Cap it with.
Okay. Ready? We're gonna have you turn back into your old self in no time flat. We're gonna go in here together. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna finish that game.
I always thought the kids' whimpers were so sympathetic. They're so heartbreaking. Just,
He's so sad.
But Bonnie Hunt tells him he's scared, he's sad, he needs you to talk to him, and he defaults to what he inherited from his father. We receive patterns of behavior, of conflict resolution, of giving or withholding affection from our families of origin. And everybody is in some way or another determined by their family of origin. And I don't mean like it's fixed and you can't change it. What I mean is everybody either follows what they learned at home or makes a deliberate choice to do something different.
Correct.
I had largely forgotten most of this movie, but this scene in its entirety
just imprinted on you.
Just imprinted because it fed me. This notion of I can choose to do something different, but also what it looks like to be in a moment of judgmental cruelty and to catch yourself and to say, do I want to be this person? And to catch yourself and see the effect it's having on another human being, and instead of digging down and being harsher, pivoting and doing something else. The films of Robin Williams, the way they shaped a generation, or a way they shaped a generation, is showing us what it looks like.
Right.
To be accountable, to make a change, to pivot in a different direction, and to move towards compassion and kindness. And that happens in so many of these movies. That's the arc of the character, or that's something that we see him do. And what that says to me is that that mattered to him, especially when it comes to the films that were targeted for families. to make sure that kids were seeing what that looks like.
You don't make that choice over and over and over again as an actor on accident.
Right.
You don't make it because, like, it's a calculated, ooh, this is how I can make the most money.
He was deeply committed to putting this out into the world. And of course, he did some darker, more twisted things. He's an actor. He likes to challenge himself.
Yeah, and he's great in a lot of those movies, by the way.
But he was passionate about there's too much cruelty. There's too much unkindness. There's too much impatience. And I want to show people what it looks like so that they can do it themselves. And it's powerful and it works.
If something's good, I know that I've done something quite good, or that works, that has a power to it. This movie does. It is about something quite powerful and quite primal. Isolation, human contact, simple things, but quite necessary.
I think one of the reasons that Robin Williams connected with us so much when we were kids is because at a certain level, he felt like a kid.
Yeah.
Sort of trapped in a grown-up's body, which made him the absolute perfect casting for Peter Pan.
Yes.
Jack! Don't I know him?
And it just made him so relatable.
Never seen him before in your life.
As a kid.
You won't believe this. Took me 3 days to find it. But guess what happened when I did? Huh? I went. You know what my happy thought was?
It was you.
Yeah, people dump on Hook. I don't know why. Hook is fantastic. But it's a perfect distillation of
It's my dad.
what Robin Williams, who he was and what he stood for.
Yes.
Because he is so playful and so joyous, but it's a story of an adult who loses his sense of play, his sense of wonder, his sense of joy, his ability to just savor life because adulthood has beaten it out of him.
Yeah.
I actually go very personal. We have a Hook episode where I cry a lot.
Yeah.
And to rediscover and rekindle that childlike sense of wonder and joy. I think that's one of the reasons why at any age we keep going back to Robin Williams, is because we want to be reminded of that.
Yeah.
Of what it feels like to live life that way.
So, your adventures are over.
Oh no. To live will be an awfully big adventure.
And for me, watching this movie, like, my dad's a great guy. I love him. He's not super playful.
Yeah.
He's not really that sort of bubbly, joyful person. So when Jack gets to say, my dad's Peter Pan, and he's like so excited about it, that was a wish fulfillment moment for me. Again, I have a great relationship with my dad. He's a great guy. But there is a big part of me that he didn't connect with, and I needed some version of that, and I got to see it from this version of Robin Williams. From many versions of Robin Williams, by the way.
Yeah.
But especially this one.
By the way, if this video gets 1 million views, Alan's dad will wear tights on camera.
Well, yeah, we can do that.
But these are my recreation clothes.
I talk about this more in depth in our Hook episode.
Sure.
The thing that I always wanted most was to be a father. And then I became a father, and it was really stressful. And I found that I sometimes would see my kids as obstacles to the things I was trying to do.
Sure.
Or I would be short-tempered, or I would be irritated. And to remember, they're not an obstacle, they're the whole reason. That they are the happy thought, that they are the thing that I wanted most, and to treat them accordingly helped me to rediscover my love of parenting. Like, I always loved my kids, but that's not the same thing as loving
parenting.
Parenting, yeah.
Two different things.
And to rediscover that has been...
Was it a really great adventure?
Oh my gosh. Let's just go to the next clip now.
How was he? You know, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, well, that part was always okay.
Just okay. Oh, he's probably a Casanova compared to poor old Winston.
What was the matter with Winston?
Oh, dear. Winston's idea of foreplay was, Effie, brace yourself.
Oh. It was Daniel's spontaneity and his energy I fell in love with.
And that was the cleanest take they had.
Everyone else I knew was so organized, so scheduled. Like me, I guess. Daniel was so wonderfully different and funny. He could always make me laugh.
They always say the key to a solid marriage is laughter.
But after a few years, everything just stopped being funny.
Why?
I was working all the time.
Half his voice.
Yep.
He was always between jobs. I hardly ever got to see the kids, and on the nights I would try to get home early to be with them. Something would go wrong. The house would be wrecked, and I'd have to clean it up. He never knew, but so many nights I just cried myself to sleep.
Really?
The truth is, I didn't like who I was when I was with him. I would turn into this horrible person. I didn't want my kids growing up with a mother like that. When I'm not with Daniel, I'm better. And I'm sure he's better when he's not with me.
Well, you never... I mean, did you ever say anything to him, dear?
Daniel never liked to talk about anything serious.
It's a real perspective-taking moment for him here.
I used to think Daniel could do anything, except be serious. But then I was serious enough for everybody.
And that's a very true thing in couples dynamics. I see this a lot, especially when there's kids, is you have a pairing of, okay, someone's a bit more playful, someone's a bit more serious, but they're both capable of doing both. And then one person is too lenient for the other. And the other, to compensate, goes a little harsher, a little stricter. Yeah. And this person doesn't like that, so they go more playful, more spontaneous, less organized, and then this person goes even further out.
This was a huge lesson for me in, like you said, perspective taking, but also this is a thing that I love to talk about on this show is we write our own lives. We write the scripts of our own lives.
Yeah.
And you know, the magical thing about making a movie is once you write a script and you do your storyboards and stuff, you show up on set and then you change it.
Mm.
The set is your day-to-day life, like what's actually happening, right? What you capture with your camera is your life. You can write a script and then go off script.
Sure.
You will go off script, but you can write the intention of where you want to go. And if you do a good job directing your life, even though the words aren't going to be the same, where you're going to arrive at emotionally is going to be the same.
Yeah.
Watching him in real time learn how he screwed up and how he could approach things differently going forward. This is the magic trick of movie stars, right? Anybody can be pretty on camera. Movie stars let you see what they're thinking and what they're feeling without telegraphing it.
Yeah.
They just welcome you in and you feel it.
When something this scene has in common with the Jumanji scene is you get to see the moment he shifts. For the first bit of this scene, he is passive-aggressively trying to steer her back towards a relationship with him.
Which is what he's been doing the whole time, hilariously, as Mrs. Doubtfire.
I don't know what's happening. What is it, dear? Just stay calm. Isn't he fabulous? Oh, kind of, dear, if you're like that handsome, rugged type. But personally, I prefer short, furry, and funny.
But the moment he pivots and says, why? And then he just listens. The whole rest of the scene, he is no longer trying to steer her. He's trying to understand her.
Right.
And being dressed as Mrs. Doubtfire allows him to get outside of himself and his own agenda enough to just be present and hear. I mean, this is the power of role play in the therapy office, this sort of thing. He realizes he carried a lot of assumptions about where she was coming from, but he didn't actually know.
Right.
Because again, he was trapped and locked in as Daniel, and Mrs. Doubtfire freed him. This is yet another outlandish Hollywood plot that carries a lot of genuine, realistic, emotional weight.
It's not quite as silly as, like, we recently did an episode about The Parent Trap. That's bananas crazy pants.
Yeah, we loved it, but
we loved it. This is slightly less bananas.
Which is more banana crazy pants to you, Mrs. Doubtfire or The Parent Trap? Let us know in the comments below.
We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. And the human race is filled with passion. And medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for.
It's great writing.
Hope and Whitman.
Yep.
Oh, me. O life, of the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, what good amid these, O me, O life? Answer, that you are here, that life exists and identity, that the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. That the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be?
What's your legacy? What's your life about? You know, watching this scene, he plays a teacher and a mentor, somebody who's obviously very passionate about passing along wisdom to young people.
Yeah.
And it strikes me that Robin Williams is like the best teacher or coach you ever had. He just had a much larger classroom.
Yeah, his classroom was pretty much the whole planet.
Right, exactly.
Thanks to Hollywood marketing budgets.
But his ability to reach and to lift and inspire, and yes, he didn't write the screenplay, but he chose this project.
Right.
Because it aligned with something that he wanted to do. And again, I think this speaks to like a mission statement for Robin Williams. There are many things in life that are worthwhile pursuits, but they sustain life. And I think a lot of his work, especially the stuff that feeds us and sustains us, speaks to what life is really about. Joy and connection and compassion and love and growth and integrity, all of these things that
are life affirming, not life sustaining.
Yeah.
Now, my class, you will learn to think for yourselves again. You will learn to savor words and language. No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
Here he's teaching the boys to live life with passion and enthusiasm. And if there are two words to describe Robin Williams, they were passion and enthusiasm. He was incapable of half-assing things. It's difficult for me to overstate. Like, it sounds so dumb because this is a man I never met. And I have only worked with a couple of people who ever knew him. And so, like, my actual relationship with this man is non-existent. It's literally just a parasocial relationship. But it was so important to me growing up. Robin Williams probably influenced me more than any other actor.
Yeah.
There are probably directors and writers, and definitely John Williams,
who
like had a greater influence on who I became. But Robin Williams was Robin Williams was a wonderful person, and he's gone too soon.
And I think you're not alone in feeling, for most people, if you ask them what's the celebrity death that hit them the hardest, it was Robin Williams, because he exemplified the ability to love people you've never met.
Yeah.
You can love somebody in one sense if you get to know them and you see them and you value them and so you love them. But you can also be somebody who carries love with you and shares it wherever you go. And that's what he did. And I think that's why so many of us felt that personal connection even if we never met him.
Yeah.
And if you're ever distressed,
cast your eyes to the summer sky, when the stars are strung across the velvety night, and when a shooting star streaks through the blackness, turning night into day. Make a wish. And think of me. And make your life spectacular. I know I did.
So if you feel about Robin Williams like I do, let us know some of your favorite roles in the comments below. And let us know what Robin Williams films or characters we should cover next, because, man, we love talking about this guy.
So until next time.
It is your fault.
Well, I know. What? And watch movies.
It's his fault.
Oh, God. That totally backfired. You're a terrible therapist.
There's a reason I'm not a therapist. We want to shout out and thank our patrons who get extended Director's Cut episodes. They come out ad-free and they come out early. over on our Patreon, along with a whole bunch of other stuff, including the movie that I'm working on right now. There are people with names like these:
Ashley Wolf,
Katie Joe,
LBW,
Elaine Katske,
Moonage Cryptid.
That cryptid had some serious moonage.
Exactly.